Yeah, obviously when you have the lead 35-31 going into the fourth quarter, you challenge your football team like, man, this is what you're in this position now. We got to be able to finish the deal. Your best football is required, especially in a situation like that for the final 15 minutes of the game. Turnovers, holding calls, self-inflicted wounds, that's on us. Obviously there's no excuse for that. Each man has got a job to do, and when you work so hard to get yourself climbed back in a position, then you have a lead. We capitalized on that turnover there in the second half in the third quarter, which was awesome to really shift the momentum. But then, we had a turnover there on our own end. They capitalized on it, then came back, had an interception, had a critical holding call. It's not winning football. I can't do that. And so, I can't lose a turnover battle. We've been in 2 3-point games now in the Mid-American Conference. In order to be able to win in this conference, you got to be able to finish in the fourth quarter, and we didn't get that done today.
These kind of self-inflicted wounds that you're talking about, are they even more frustrating given the fact that we're now 5 games in?
No question. Obviously, it's something that, if I'm going to get up in front of the team and talk to them at the end of the game, and I keep talking about things that we are doing to ourselves. Worked all week long trying to make sure I showed guys us being successful in all 3 phases with guys doing their job, man. You show clips in each morning to get the day started. So guys, every guy in here, not just the offensive guys, not just the defensive guys, not just the guys on special teams, everybody in these seats can see, like, when everybody does their part there and we execute, it's a really good thing. It's a good product. It looks good. But you can't have self-inflicted wounds. There's no other way to slice it, dice it. You can't lose the turnover battle and expect to win games. And we lost the turnover battle, and we found ourselves, sitting here 3 points short.
The defense looked good in the middle of the game, but at the start and the end, just couldn't really put it all together for a full game. You guys have allowed at least 460 yards in the last 4 games. Is there anything that needs to change on the defense?
Well, obviously that's frustrating, giving up some of the explosive plays that we're giving up, some of the big plays in the passing game. Obviously the quarterback, Hayden Wolf, was extremely efficient, 26 out of 29, but too many uncontested plays down the field, shot plays where, we're not related close enough in coverage, whether it's man, zone, whatever it may be, and that can't happen. And so we're going to have to look at our personnel. Obviously, sometimes there are certain positions where you're thin, but, man, if we're going to have to look at our personnel, we're going to put the best guys out there to give us the best chance. And so they did do a good job in the second quarter. I told them at halftime, and the team, that fight, that toughness, the attitude that showed up in the second quarter, I want to see that when we get back out there in the second half. So, again, you got the lead going into the fourth quarter, and we can't finish the deal.
What do you think the reason is for, especially in the secondary, when you just have those wide open passes, especially in zone or man coverage?
Confidence. It comes down to lack of confidence more than anything else. And, obviously that's been something that we've worked on to try to get that corrected, but it really comes down to confidence and guys just playing a tick slow and not trusting themselves or not believing in themselves, if you will. We talked a lot about belief this morning before we took the bus over here to the stadium, and really comes down to that.
Did you feel like there were moments or even extended moments in this game where this team did have confidence?
No question. Obviously, there's moments in the game. We talked a lot about making sure that the sideline brings great juice, great energy, because you feed off that. And I thought there was different moments throughout the course of the game that were some good things going on. But you got to be able to sustain that. You got to be able to finish that. You got to be able to bring that stuff for 4 quarters, not 3 quarters, not 2.5 quarters. And we got to get back to work. There's no magic button that you're going to be able to push and say we're going to be able to fix it by doing this. It's us getting back to work, every man, making sure he's doing a better job, practice field, whatever it is, weight room, meeting room, anything. We got to. When you're in that position in the fourth quarter, you just simply have to finish.
Would it be fair to say that this team's biggest issue overall this year has been its lack of consistency? No question.
Yeah, no question. Obviously, a couple of the early season non-conference games, obviously it is what it is, but that hurt. We went on the road there to Miami. That hurt. That set us back from a confidence standpoint for sure. But you got to regroup and you got to recover. And obviously that's something that when you play an opponent like that it's the best team they've had there in a while, then that hurt. That shook us a tad, and you got to be able to recover from that, and we're working on that.
Do you think a close loss like this where you had the momentum, especially going into the fourth quarter, and then just couldn't get it done, do you think that has more of a negative effect on the team's confidence than just getting blown out?
That hurts worse. That hurts worse because you put yourself, obviously it wasn't the start any of us wanted, getting down the way that we did quick. That kickoff return for a touchdown certainly changed the momentum for us. Sideline, that was awesome. But when you work hard to fight, scrap, and claw and get yourself the lead going into the fourth quarter, that's what you want. You want to position yourselves, and then you want to, man, we got to play our best when we get to the fourth quarter, the final 15 minutes of the game, being able to execute, being able to do your job. Those are things that you got to be able to get done, and we didn't get that done.
Caden was visibly frustrated, I think, after his second interception particularly. What are you telling him in those moments?
Well, listen, I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. We got to keep in mind he's still a redshirt freshman, so this is his first significant action. Not everything's just going to be a smooth sailing as a quarterback when you play that position, but can you do a good job from a decision-making standpoint if something bad happens? And obviously the play before the interception, towards the end there, the last interception he had, the play before that, the snap, he kind of bobbled it, was on the ground. So naturally your instincts are, man, I got to make up for the mistake I just made. I got us into a negative yardage situation. I got to make a mistake. I think he had Keon there on what we call a spear route, and he just threw it behind him there. And so obviously turnovers, that's when you talk about playing quarterback, and if you want to have a career or you want to have a future and you want to be able to do it year after year, it starts with that. You got to be able to eliminate the turnovers, eliminate the interceptions, because that's going to give the team ultimately the best chance to win.
What was it like to see Ty Robinson out there kind of make his MAC debut and then get that big touchdown?
Yeah, just happy for Ty. He's been through a lot, having two injuries where he missed all but 10 games last year, and obviously he played the first snap of the season and missed the next 4 weeks. So it was good to see him back on the practice field this week, and for him to be able to get a game under his belt like that. I know it was a lot of hard work to get to that point, and I'm excited for him just from a confidence standpoint.
For the defense, Keontae mentioned after the Miami game miscommunication leading to some defensive coverage breakdowns. Do you think that is still an issue, or do you think it's something else with whether it be in guys having trouble learning the new defensive system? Or
I think it's confidence as much as anything else. Naturally when you give up some big plays and you do that, in consecutive weeks, then obviously you haven't been able to gain a lot of confidence in games. It's easy in practice when you talk about going through the practice for that day, going through the script, but when you get to the game, to me it's all coming down to confidence, because when I turn the tape on, you see a guy just playing a tick slow, and typically when you play a tick slow, that just means you're not very confident or trust, or you're afraid to make a mistake, and it really comes down to that, because you can't play the game that way, or else then that's when man, they're going to come after me, and those are the things that, to me, when I look at it, it starts with that.
How do you go about rebuilding the confidence on the defense?
Obviously it's tough. Obviously you just try to keep making sure guys believe and trust in each other. Don't point any fingers. Don't give up on your teammate. There is no easy solution to that, other than you got to make sure that you're ready to go to work every day on the practice field, and if you put your best stuff on the practice field, then you can trust that it'll show up on Saturday. But there isn't just one easy formula to say, hey, this is exactly how we go about getting it fixed, other than just trying to make sure those young men know how much you still believe in them.
Mike, on Monday, you kind of urged the community to stick with the team and to come out and support. You've been entrenched in this community for 15 years, give or take. What's your message, I guess, to
I thought the environment was great today. I appreciate that for Family Day. Obviously, it was fun to come back here and play at our stadium. Our guys know every inch of this field, and I appreciate their support today. I'm disappointed we weren't able to deliver a win and maintain a 2-0 record here at home. So I'm disappointed in that, but I am very appreciative of the support and obviously the atmosphere today.
Any last questions? All right, stand by. We have Jordan Coleman up next.
You saved me, though.
I appreciate it, Mike.
Thank you,
I'm not
Coach.
sure if you know that, everybody.
Gentlemen, we'll go ahead and open for questions.
Through talking with Mike just now, he feels like the biggest point of reflection for this defense moving forward is just regaining confidence.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like that's kind of the biggest reason why you guys have struggled a bit through this season. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, I feel the same way. I feel like confidence is a big way for our defense to continue making plays, and consistency. That really comes with it. So consistency and confidence is the main reasons why why our defense is where it is right now. I feel like when we start making plays more consistently, we can start gaining our confidence, and it's kind of hand in hand in that.
There kind of two standout plays that you made today. One was a key like pass deflection to force a punt, and then the other was that fumble recovery. Is that kind of an example of what this defense can do when it has confidence?
Oh, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? When we go out there and we understand our assignment, we understand our jobs, and we just play fast, that's the result.
For sure. And I guess too, like when you see someone like Malcolm Gilly return a kick when you guys are down 14-0, does that help spark the defense as well?
Of course. You know what I'm saying? When we see our offense making plays, it sparks us. Vice versa. When we make plays, it sparks the offense. You know, we just got to keep playing complementary football. And, you know, we can start making different, you know, games like this and start coming out with wins instead of losses.
I know throughout talking with Keontae in recent weeks, he's been very disappointed in the defense. And you guys have allowed too many yards by your standards in these past 4 weeks. What have you been saying to other guys in the defensive group?
Just discipline. You know, we're a young group, but at the same time, that's no excuse no more at this point. We're almost halfway through the season, and we got to start, you know, maturing, understand what we need to do to get off the field, and especially on third downs.
Yeah, and there seems to be some, what we've heard is communication issues a little bit on the defense as far as guys being, you know, out of assignment or whatever that may be. Have you noticed that as well, and has it gotten better over the course of the season?
It definitely has gotten better. You know, new coordinator, different calls, things like that. With the new mic system too, as well. You know what I'm saying? Different factors are playing in with it, but we're trying our best and doing the best. But it's definitely improved over the weeks.
How do you, as a player, go about kind of rebuilding your confidence after a game like this?
You start from the basics. You know, watch film from the next game or about this game. Swim, go to the pool, do our lift. You know, everything. You just got to take everything 100%. And so it's just continue constantly doing the same thing over again.
The defense did, you know, step up and make some big plays. They had the, like we mentioned, the fumble recovery, and then also that kind of goal line stand there in the second quarter. So how do you kind of carry confidence from those big plays? How do you carry that forward through the rest of the game?
Like I said before, it's really getting off third down. We just got to continue making big plays. You know, we can't make a big play and then give up a third down and we're on the field longer than we need to be. And so the main thing is just consistently making plays. We can't just make a play here and then not make a play for another series. You know, we got to continue to make plays consistently.
In the second quarter, the defense pitched a shutout, and Mike was talking about how good he felt about that second quarter. What changed from the first quarter to the second quarter today?
I feel like we was really locked in at that point. You know, we made a couple mental mistakes, and then we just got together as a group and just really, you know, hey, had each other combos like, hey, we need to do this. And so we got it done in the second quarter.
And then does it make it more disappointing when, like, you prove that you can bounce back from a rough quarter, you have that good second quarter, and then the defense kind of struggles again later in the game?
Yeah, just like I said, consistency. And so, like, we can't do that. That's not acceptable, and we got to uphold our standards.
Anything else for Jordan? All right, Braedon Sloan on deck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan. All right, gentlemen, ask away.
Kind of the theme of this press conference, we've talked a lot about, you know, the defense has struggled, but the offense really played well today with the exception of those turnovers. What do you feel like this offense has shown in terms of its diversity? Like, you see guys like Drew Hughes catching a touchdown, you threw a touchdown pass. Like, do you feel like that is really what defines this offense?
Yeah, we have multiple different weapons on our offense, and, you know, I was looking at the stat sheet before I came in here, and it's just, you got a bunch of guys with a bunch of targets and a bunch of catches and a lot of production coming from everywhere, and that's real good to have, like, in your offense, and especially when everybody's hitting on all cylinders and moving the ball and, you know, having success. That's really good.
From what I've heard, that was your first passing attempts in college ever.
Yeah.
Did you, like, throw any passes in high school or middle school or anything?
Yeah, Little League, I played quarterback for like a year. I wasn't really throwing a lot of Little League, you know, but high school, I had one game. Our quarterback got hurt on the first play of the game. It was my last game of junior year, and I had to come in and play quarterback. I mean, I mainly was running the ball, but threw it a couple times. But in college, that was definitely my first ever attempt to even try to throw it.
Was that a play that you guys had practiced a lot coming into this week?
Well, we put it in this week, and it was part of the game plan. And you know, I just had it in my mind that, you know, he wasn't going to be afraid to call it, and we called it, and then they tossed it out there, and I saw the safety kind of bite down. I said, I'm just going to let it fly, so that's what I did. And Abney ran under and scored that touchdown.
Are you going to make that your last career passing attempt?
Yeah.
So you can have a 100% career completion?
Yeah, I told him next time, I said Christian Davis is going to have to throw the ball next time. I'm retired from quarterbacking.
When that play was called, like, what was going through your mind? Were you nervous at all, or just ready to go?
Not really nervous, just don't throw an interception, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I get the look that we've talked about and, you know, I can throw the ball decent, like playing catch in the backyard, is, you know, he was wide open, so just toss it up there. If I'd have threw it into coverage, I probably would have got my butt chewed out because, you know, that wasn't what we talked about. But he was wide open, so it made it easy on me, so that was a good thing.
Yeah. And then on that 72-yard reception, like when you kind of turn nothing into something, none of us in here have any idea what it feels like to run 72 yards for a game. Like, what was going through your head when you first caught the ball, and then how do you feel after you make a play like that?
Yeah, so when I first caught the ball, I saw the one dude, the first dude, I was thinking to just make him a miss and try to get to the outside. And then I just got to that point and read my blocks and kept running. And then after I got past the last dude, it was like, don't get caught. I got caught, but, you know, it happens. I got to unhook the trailer and, you know, get to the end zone next time.
So you were thinking end zone?
Yeah, definitely, most definitely.
A bunch of different guys contributed today, you know, like you said, but still with the loss, like, does it make it hurt even more? I mean, Mike said that close losses like this hurt even more, but from your perspective, is that the same?
Yeah, I feel like they always hurt like this because like you said, we had a lot of production and just you do a lot throughout the game, and just to come up short right at the end is just, you know, it's not a good feeling at all. Really, it's never a good feeling to lose, but games like that definitely have a little bit more sting to them.
Where do you feel like the offense's confidence is at?
I feel like after this performance, and like you said, just, you know, we was moving the ball and getting it around. I feel like it's up, even though, you know, the outcome of the game wasn't where we wanted to be. But we put a lot of positive stuff on tape, and you know, just showing ourselves that we can do it, that we can move the ball and score points. And so I feel like it's up after that, even after the outcome of the game.
Yeah. And from what we've heard, the defense's confidence is pretty down after these last few weeks. I know that you guys don't work as extensively with the defense as obviously you do with the offense, but do you view it as your responsibility, even as a member of the offense, to kind of encourage the defensive members and get their confidence up? Yeah,
definitely, because at the end of the day, we're on the same team. You know, it's not the offense and defense, it's Ball State, you know what I'm saying? So really just keeping those guys up and just letting them know, like, it might not go their way, because in the game, it's not going to go our way every time. It's not going to go their way every time. It's ups and downs for both teams. So just letting them know, like, when they do mess up, like, we got their back. And, you know, they do the same stuff with us. Like, if, you know, we go 3 and out or something, they'll come up and, like, we got your back or whatever. But, you know, just instilling the confidence into them, and they just, you know, and they just got to, you know, come together and kind of feed off of that.
And they said that they did today, like when Malcolm had that return for a touchdown, and, you know, you guys scored that touchdown with you throwing the ball and Drew catches it, and so those are examples of the defense feeding off of that. Do you feel like this team in general just needs to be more consistent? Yeah, I feel like in football, that's what it's about, is consistency on all aspects of the game. You got to be consistent with everything that you do throughout the week, from, you know, waking up to playing the game. Everything that you do has got to be a consistent routine, and staying consistent. And really, it comes down to, at the end of the game, who was the most consistent during the game and making plays and all that. So it's definitely a lot to do with consistency.
Anything more for Braedon? All right.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.